Hello, my wonderful champions. Welcome back to the kitchen and the channel. I am so glad you are here with me today. We talk a lot about food here. We talk about what tastes good, what gives us energy, and what is healing. But today, we need to talk about the silent heroes in our bodies. I am talking about your kidneys. They are working 24 hours a day, filtering your blood. They are the ultimate cleanup crew. You know, most people think that kidney damage only comes from diabetes or too much salt. And that is part of the story. But the truth is much scarier. Your kidneys are being attacked every single day. They are being clogged, inflamed, and chemically burned from the inside. And you won't feel it. This damage builds slowly, without pain, until one day it is too late. We cannot let that happen in our golden years. We need strong kidneys to travel, to enjoy our family, and to keep eating the delicious food we love. So today, we are going to look at the top 10 foods and items that are silently destroying your filters. We are going to start at number 10 and count down to the absolute worst. Let's get to work. Let's start with number 10. 10 high-sodium processed foods. Now, you have heard this before. Salt is bad, cut the sodium. And yes, foods like canned soups, frozen TV dinners, and fast food are kidney killers. But here is the important distinction that they miss on the news. It is not the salt itself that is the villain. It is the imbalance. Real salt, good salt, is not the problem when it is balanced by potassium. But when you eat processed food, you get a massive amount of sodium. With zero potassium to balance it out, this forces your kidneys to work incredibly hard. It causes fluid retention. It raises your blood pressure. And that increased pressure creates friction. It causes microvascular damage to the tiny, delicate vessels inside your kidneys. So the takeaway is not to fear salt. Please do not be afraid to sprinkle real sea salt on your steak or your beautiful garden salad. The solution is to get the potassium with it. Eat your leafy greens. Eat your non-starchy vegetables. And if you are exercising or sweating, consider a balanced electrolyte supplement. Balance is everything. Moving on to number 9. Number 9. Non-dairy coffee creamers. This is a tough one for many of us who love our morning coffee ritual. We pour in that sweet, creamy flavor to mellow out the coffee. But here is the shocking truth. Most coffee creamers contain zero actual cream. They are non-dairy, flavored syrups. What are you actually drinking? A cocktail of chemicals. You often find things like titanium dioxide, which is basically an industrial chemical used for white coloring. You find artificial colors, flavors, and emulsifiers. These have been found to cause what doctors call a leaky kidney membrane. They interfere with the structural integrity of your kidney tissue, and over time they can result in protein leaking into your urine. If you love your cream, use real cream. Use butter. Use a little coconut milk. But ditch the flavored syrup chemicals right now. 8. Alcohol. We all know that too much alcohol is not healthy. But for the kidneys, alcohol causes two big problems. First, dehydration. The kidneys need plenty of fluid to filter things, and alcohol leaves them dry and stressed. Second, alcohol spikes something called uric acid. Uric acid forms tiny, sharp crystals. I picture them as little glass-like spikes. They are abrasive, and the kidneys have to filter them out. They can lead to kidney stones. Now, if you are having a small amount of pure distilled spirit, that is one thing. But watch out for mixed drinks. When you add sugar, fructose, artificial sweeteners, and other chemical additives, you are turning that drink into a kidney bomb. This one is going to surprise many of you. Number 7. Green smoothies, the oxalate trap. I know. You think green smoothies are the ultimate health food. We load them up with spinach, almonds, and beets. The problem? These ingredients are very high in compounds called oxalates. For many people, if you drink these smoothies every single day, you can get an oxalate overload. Oxalates can form crystals and kidney stones, just like uric acid. But here is the good news: not everyone reacts the same way. Your body has three main defenses against these oxalates. First, you need a strong gut microbiome. Specifically, you need a beneficial bug called Oxalobacter formigenes. If you have a strong, diverse gut, these bacteria break the oxalates down before you can absorb them. Second, binding. Oxalates love to bind to minerals. If you have plenty of calcium and magnesium in your gut, the oxalates bind to them right there in your digestive tract and get flushed out. You simply do not absorb them. Third, citrate. If oxalates do make it into your bloodstream, citric acid, like from lemon juice, acts as a decoy. It keeps the oxalates from binding to the calcium in your blood, which prevents stone formation. So, if you are worried about oxalates, do not be dehydrated. Make sure your stomach acid is strong and consider adding lemon juice to your water. It is a gut health issue, not just a spinach issue. Let's talk about number 6. Artificial sweeteners. These are found in thousands of diet and sugar-free products, specifically aspartame, sucralose, and acesulfame potassium. They are a terrible idea for your kidneys. Aspartame breaks down into methanol, which then turns into formaldehyde. Yes, formaldehyde, the stuff used to preserve biological specimens. Sucralose alters the function of the tiny filtering tubes in your kidneys. They simply cannot filter and reabsorb nutrients properly anymore. And acesulfame potassium accumulates in the kidney tissue, causing mitochondrial damage. Mitochondria are the tiny energy batteries of your cells. We are damaging the very energy centers of our filtering organs. They are toxic, plain and simple. Processed meats. You have probably heard that protein is bad for your kidneys. Again, this is a big misconception. Real protein from natural beef or chicken is essential for healing. Your kidneys need protein to repair themselves. The problem is not the natural protein. The problem is the chemicals added to processed meats like sausages, deli slices, and hot dogs. They contain phosphate preservatives, nitrates, and nitrites. These chemicals are highly abrasive. They increase the acid load in your body and lead to calcification and scarring on the kidneys. So please eat your protein, but choose real pasture-raised meat over the pre-packaged chemically treated stuff. Phosphate-laden foods. This links back to processed meats and especially things like processed cheese slices. You know, those nasty fake slices they put on fast food burgers. Also sodas and frozen meals. Phosphate is natural. It helps build your bones. But these inorganic phosphate preservatives are unnatural. Your body only absorbs about 30% to 40% of natural phosphates. But these fake phosphates are absorbed at a rate of 90%. This massive overload throws your body out of balance. These extra phosphates accumulate in soft tissues, your arteries, and your kidneys. This causes a process called renal osteodystrophy. In simple terms, your kidneys start to calcify and harden from the inside. They are turning your soft tissues into cement. NSAIDs, over-the-counter painkillers. I know this is not a food, but it is so important. NSAIDs stand for non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. We use them often for arthritis pain, headaches, and joint stiffness. Things like ibuprofen and naproxen. Here is what they do. They dramatically reduce blood flow to the kidneys. Your kidneys get the most blood flow of any organ in your body. They take 20% of all the blood your heart pumps out. They need that oxygen to do their extremely hard job. When you cut the blood flow, the workload does not stop. The kidneys are forced to do the same heavy lifting with less oxygen. This places a huge stress on the tissue. If you use these occasionally, maybe it is okay. But chronic use can lead to permanent loss of tissue and filtering capacity. If you have chronic pain, look for natural anti-inflammatories like curcumin or high-dose fish oil first. 2. Seed oils, vegetable oils. This is every oil sold in a big jug at the store: corn, canola, soybean oil. The problem is not the original seed. The problem is the industrial processing. They use extremely high heat, high pressure, and harsh chemical solvents like acetone to extract the last bits of oil. This process oxidizes the fat. The final result contains something called aldehydes. Aldehydes are toxic to kidney cells. They damage the glomeruli, which are the main filtering units. They scar the delicate tubules. They degrade your filtration membranes. When you eat foods cooked in these oils, you are giving your kidneys a chemical beating. Switch to real cooking fats, real butter, ghee, coconut oil, or high-quality extra virgin olive oil. The absolute worst, sugar and fructose. Here we are at the #1 kidney killer. Sugar, any of its derivatives. Sweetened drinks, candy, cookies, and even seemingly healthy things like honey or agave. Everyone knows sugar messes with blood sugar and insulin. But the most destructive part for the kidneys is fructose. Fructose goes straight to your liver. When the liver processes it, it consumes huge amounts of ATP, your cellular energy currency. This breakdown of ATP creates a massive spike in uric acid. Remember those sharp, abrasive crystals we talked about? Fructose is the fastest and most significant way you produce this uric acid. Even though sugar contains no protein, it causes uric acid to skyrocket. And this uric acid is the primary cause of scarring and permanent damage in your kidneys. It causes stones. It causes gout in your joints. If you want to protect your filters, you have to drastically reduce your intake of refined sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and especially things like agave, which is almost pure fructose. It is about quantity. A teaspoon of honey on real Greek yogurt is not going to kill you. But the daily sodas, the sweet coffee drinks, and the desserts, that is the silent killer we must eliminate. Wow, we covered a lot of ground today, champions. From processed foods to coffee creamers to the ultimate culprit, sugar. The path to protecting your kidneys is simple, even if it is not easy. It comes down to 3 things. Eat real food. Focus on potassium-rich whole foods to balance sodium. Move more. The more active you are, the better your circulation and blood flow. Hydrate smart, drink clean water, and yes, add lemon for that protective citrate. Your kidneys are priceless. Treat them with the respect they deserve, and they will support you for many more years of health and delicious living. If you found this information life-saving, please hit that like button and subscribe. I do not want you to miss the next video, which I am linking right here. It is all about the 5 best foods for reversing inflammation. Click that thumbnail and I will see you there. Stay healthy, my friends. Bye-bye.